Alright, boys, welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about the number one Twitter/X tool and obviously explaining how to run Twitter. So yeah, first of all, actual account setup, you can either buy or create, it doesn't really matter. Obviously if you buy one, it's going to be a little bit safer in my opinion, especially now, most platforms are becoming a bit more strict, blah blah. It'll be a little bit safer and obviously the warm-up's not as long. And how the warm-up works, first of all, the way we do traffic at least, you don't need to worry about your IP. If you're doing organic, obviously you should worry a bit more about your IP, but the way we do traffic, which I'll explain soon, which is retweet for retweet, it's not organic. So, it doesn't matter if you're based in India or England, wherever, it'll be fine. And the warm up, we literally do like a 2 to 3 day warm up. Obviously, if you create an account, you can't usually buy premium straight away, so you have to wait anyway. Other than that, just like a simple 2 to 3 day warm up of just scrolling a little bit on the feed, following a few OF creators, stuff like that is all you need to really do. Niching, Twitter is not really like a platform where you niche a lot. On IG Reels, obviously you can have content which is literally specifically for your exact niche, but Twitter is more about just showing off, your the model's body, the content, and NSFW sometimes as well, stuff like that. Obviously, if you're like a feet niche, you should obviously show your feet more on the content, or if you're mainly boobs, you show your boobs more. But if you're like a goth girl, stuff like that, there's not much to do other than just obviously making it quite obvious, right? And by that I mean the clothes you wear, maybe, or even your hair and the makeup, or even your room, just stuff like that to make it a bit more obvious of what niche you're in. But it's not going to be like you're posting reels where it has to be about that exact niche. Bio, once again, just keep it simple, but obviously you can make it niche specific. If you're like a goth girl, you can just have like black heart emoji, stuff like that. But we usually keep it quite specific. Banner, again, if you're like a goth girl, you can make it dark, but we keep it simple. We just make it like for example, like a pink clouds or pink hearts, stuff like that. Just something simple and girly, or like just for your niche. Profile picture, we always just make it a selfie showing a little bit of chest, and that's it. Nothing else. Premium, you need premium on all your accounts. Okay, if you're on scale, have multiple accounts, you need premium on all of them. If you have just one account, you still need premium on it. Twitter is pay to win. If you don't have premium, you'll get rate limited. And even if you wanted to do organic, you won't get pushed out as much if you're not on premium. So make sure you're using premium all the time. Alright, what to actually post. So because of what we do, retweet for retweet, the main thing you really need is just a pinned post every day. Obviously, you can do extra tweets to try push yourself out more, but the main one is just one pinned post per day. And what to post for that, these are two examples of captions that are working well. Other than this, you can have captions related to content. So if it's like a boob pic, you can just have a simple caption like, I heard you're into big boobs, or I heard you like big boobs, or like if you like my cherries. And then that's on this trending caption slash post. If you see other models like Sophie Rain following some sort of trend, you can copy it as well and see if it works for you. And as for content, it really depends on what you as an agency and what the models are comfortable with. But usually on Twitter, I do at least some sort of NSFW. I'm not saying you have to do full NSFW, but at least you're showing like boobs. And the reason for that is because Twitter, if you go on Twitter right now and you go on the NSFW side of Twitter, literally 9% of people are doing NSFW, right? If you are just like a basic looking model, just average looking, you most likely won't go viral if you're doing SFW. Girls that go viral in the SFW on Twitter is either because they've been posting for a very long time on organic, or they're like Sophie Rain and they can just go viral because of their looks very well. But an average looking model, chances are very low for them to go viral, or to just convert well on Twitter, which is why I usually recommend to do at least some sort of SFW. But yeah. Alright, so the main way of actually getting the traffic is through a tool called Xbot. This is not my tool, by the way. I just work for them. I've been using it for a long time. And it's basically a tool that automates retweet for retweet. So, retweet for retweet, I'm sure most of you guys know what like follow for follow is. It's basically where you're in group chats on Twitter, you have to retweet around usually 3 people, and then other people retweet you before they're allowed to post. So that's how it works, right? People retweet you retweet a creator, that creator retweets you. So that's how the traffic works. You gain traffic from other models' pages. That's really it. You know, as simple as it sounds, that is literally it. The tool automates this process for you. All you have to do is just post every day and obviously start the bot, and then the bot will just run as long as you keep your computer or VPS open. And that's literally it. Obviously, on a scale, you can make slaves and have multiple accounts trafficking to the main Twitter, and obviously that main Twitter just posts, and then you can obviously just have your OF link, etc. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want more information on this tool, I'll leave a link in the description, obviously. You can use my code as well. But then the next way, sorry, that you can get traffic from Twitter, which isn't really as good as it used to be. I wouldn't recommend focusing on this like too much or doing this alone, because you can't expect the crazy results from this. It's comment baiting. Pretty self-explanatory, it's literally in the name. You're literally commenting on other people's posts in hopes that either they reply, and then it gets a lot of views, or your comment just gets a lot of views in general. So, for example, you can reply to meme pages, you can reply to other models, and the best tactic of this is to do something that can go viral, right? It's not just complimenting a model saying you look pretty. That won't get views. The best way to get views on a comment is by either trying to rage bait the original creator or by the viewers, so that people will either view it or like it because they agree with you. And as simple as that. Because if you're just posting saying, "Oh, you look so pretty," even if she sees it, she might just like it, and that's it, right? So, yeah. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, check the description if you want more information on this tool. And yeah, see you guys later.